Hi everyone, my name is Mark Deere, and in this video I wanted to quickly talk about expertise. It's interesting because I think I talked about this in one of my other videos a little bit, but it's funny how, in these videos that I've made over the last 100 days where I've been working on my documentary, Confessions of a Failed Filmmaker, I have mainly been talking about ideas that I'm struggling with. And I've been trying to, I guess, be vulnerable, like not going out of my way to be, but I've been trying to be transparent, like just to really talk about the things I'm thinking about and going through. And it's funny how I realized that I never really talk about the things I'm good at or an expert at. And I've been doing this online course and I've realized that there are a lot of things that I'm an expert at, that I'm very good at. And it's interesting that I think most people have a lot of things that they're really good at and they just don't give themselves credit for, you know? And I'm talking everything. I'm talking some people are great cooks. Some people are great at keeping their house clean. Some people are very organized. Some people are, excellent at making things with their hands. They can turn anything into anything. And on and on and on. Some people are great at riding a bike. Some people are great at whatever they're great at. And a lot of the things you're good at that you don't give yourself credit for, which is like you do what you do for your job. And a lot of people probably think they're good at their job. Some people probably don't. They think they're not good at their job. But yeah, I realized there's definitely a lot of things that I am an expert at. And it's funny coming on these videos, I realized that for this 100 days, I haven't really been showing off expertise at all. If anything, I'm just talking about things I have no idea about as I try to figure them out on camera in front of you. And sometimes I figure things out and sometimes I don't. And it's rare that I'll have necessarily a very strong opinion about, I always kind of disclaim when I'm giving advice because I don't really want to be giving advice and I certainly don't want to be being negative. And I feel like most of my videos are pretty positive and most of my videos pretty much don't have advice. They're just talking about ideas. And it's interesting, I guess, because I probably spend more time than anything else thinking about or like assessing whether or not what I'm doing is good or bad and like trying to grow, right? It's about growth. I think if you're an expert at something, you're improving at this thing, but it doesn't mean you're necessarily growing as a human. And maybe right now that's what I've been most focused on. But yeah, it's like you could watch all my videos in a row and be like, this guy has no idea what he's talking about. And it's funny because, I forget that I could probably make 100 videos just about filmmaking stuff. And that's probably what I'm going to do next year. I'm going to focus more on things that I do know a lot about. But I like talking about ideas with you guys. And I like hearing from you in the comments what you think, I could do or should do or how things work. It's interesting, And I just love food for thought and I love growth. Like I like when I talk with others, this is what we do. We talk about things to try and figure them out, right? So it's interesting. But definitely I realized there's a lot of things that I am unquestionably an expert at. I mean, it might not be as great as everyone else, but I think I read somewhere once a long time ago that all an expert is someone who can answer every beginner question. And there are things that I could answer every beginner question on because I know a decent amount about them. So, and I'm sure there are plenty of things you could answer every beginner's question on, like, even things like cooking, making a bed, like keeping your house clean, I don't know. There would be things. And so everyone is an expert at more things than they give themselves credit for. And so maybe just because we're in Dead Week and I'm thinking about these things, it's like, give yourself more credit, give yourself more credit. I'm trying to give myself more credit. There are things I'm good at. And not that I'm insecure, I'm very confident about the things that I'm good at. And that's the interesting thing is I come on here and talk about the things I'm not so confident at. So it's kind of interesting. It's been interesting, but I think that's the fun. That's why I'm having a fun time because it's challenging. It's challenging doing all these things for the first time and being a beginner, and focusing on growth. Anyway, I didn't need to make this a long video. I just wanted to say you're an expert at more things than you realize. And I'm an expert at things, even though I haven't really been sharing my expertise like I could, but it's definitely something I plan to do in the new year. So if you want to follow what I'm going to be doing in the new year, you can sign up for my email list. If you go to markdeere.com, markdeere.com, you can just add your first name and email address and sign up for my list, and I'll be sending out updates next year. It's going to be interesting as I work on new projects and new things. And also, if you haven't already subscribed, you can subscribe. And thanks to everyone who's already subscribed. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching today. See you soon.